Hey babes, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, then welcome. I'm Lauren. So today's video is one of my favorite videos to film, and it is a DIY video. If you guys have been following me for a while, then you know that I love making DIYs, but I was actually gonna cut up some sweatpants yesterday just to make them into like cute shorts, and I got the idea of making like a summery kind of set out of sweatpants that I already own. It is like 100 degrees here in Florida already, and summer literally just started 2 days ago, so I'm excited to see how it turned out. I literally planned 0% of this video, so this is just gonna be kind of me and my creative juices, so like bear with me. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and let's get started. So these are the sweatpants. They're just like this nude yellow color. I love the fit of these because they are kind of cinched at the waist, but they're also very baggy, and I love baggy sweatpants. That's like my #1 thing. If they're not baggy, I'm not getting them. However, one thing I don't really like about these is that they're really long on me. Like, I'm pretty petite. I'm only 5'1", so if I don't get like petite kind of pants, especially from Pretty Little Thing, they're just really long on me, so they kind of scrunch at the bottom, which is not that big of a deal, but from far away it just it doesn't look the best. I definitely think like cutting these into shorts is a really good idea because they're already kind of baggy, and also because they are so long on me, I'm gonna have extra fabric to work with for the top.
Okay, so the first thing I did was measure the length I wanted the shorts to be. I wanted them above the knee, but like not too short, kind of like my boyfriend's shorts kind of length. And then I went ahead and started cutting. This process actually took a little longer because these scissors are just the worst, but eventually I was able to cut the sweats.
Okay guys, I'm in love with the fit of these. They look so cute. It's literally the perfect length. The scissors were kind of hard to use, and they weren't the best scissors, so they kind of created like little like weird cuts. So I think if I pull them, the edges are just gonna look way better. So now that the pants are done, I'm just gonna move on to the top.
So for the top, I started seam ripping the stitching on one of the pant legs and then just basically figuring out where I wanted to go from there.
What I want to do is kind of wear this like a tube top, maybe cut it here, or depending on how short I want it, and then use either what's left of what I cut for the back part. I can just take like a thin ribbon, cut out of this or like any extra piece that I have, and then just kind of tie it so that this part just kind of scrunches like that. Kind of like a swimsuit tube top kind of look. I think that's honestly cuter than just like a regular top. So that's what I'm gonna go for. That's kind of my idea at the moment.
So once I figured out what I wanted to do with the top, I first started by cutting off the elastic part off, so I had a flat piece of fabric to work with. Then I used a tube top that I already owned as reference, and I started sketching out the pieces I wanted to cut out. I made sure to leave a little bit of space though in order to fold the seams later. This is also the part where I realized that I could have cut the pieces without the seam in the middle, but for some reason I didn't think about that, and it wasn't really a big deal for me. But if you guys want to avoid having a random seam on the back of your top, then make sure you cut on the fabric that doesn't have the seam. So then I just cut the pieces out, and I did this very unnecessary step of pinning the edges because I thought I was going to sew the pieces together, but I had a little bit of an issue with the sewing machine, so I had to go to Michael's the next day to buy some fabric glue. So once I had the fabric glue, I started by gluing the edges of both fabric pieces. I also moved my little project to the office, which is why you're going to see me use some office supplies. After I glued the edges, I took some clips and started clipping down the corners and the middle where the seam was because I really wanted the glue to hold. I also picked some books off the shelves and use them to weigh the fabric down and make sure that the fabric just glued as flat as possible. So while that was drying, I started making the little piece that would hold the bralette in place. I found some extra fabric and I just glued the edges and left all the pieces to dry for a couple of hours. Once all the pieces were done drying, I took the large fabric pieces and I cut off the excess fabric, and then I glued both pieces together to create the top, and I left that to dry for another 2 hours.
Okay you guys, so I just wanted to give you a little update. So I went ahead and I glued all the sides of the top, and I also stitched some of the sides just to make sure that they were actually secure when I put it on. You don't have to do that. I just personally decided to do it because I wanted to be double sure that it was actually going to be glued. So this is the top, and I think it looks good. It's a little loose on the bottom, but it's okay because I'm going to scrunch it anyways and put like the middle part. So this is the little part that I'm going to put in the middle, and I'm just trying to measure it to see exactly how much I want to cut off. So I do like the scrunched effect. I don't want it to be too like cuffed either to where my boobs are gonna fall out. Like, that's not what I want. So I definitely want it to look kind of like that.
So now that I had the perfect measurement for the middle piece, I went ahead and cut it, and then before gluing it, I started scrunching the top myself and folded it how I wanted the bralette to look. And once I did that, that's when I glued both ends on the inside of the top. And the last thing I did was glue the middle part to the actual top once it was dry because I didn't want it to flip while I wore it.
Okay guys, so this was a DIY sweatpants set. I hope that you guys really liked this video. I had a lot of fun making it, even though it took me longer than I thought it was going to. I had planned for it to only take one day, and because I didn't have the necessary materials, the next day I had to go to Michael's and buy the glue, and then I did that project like 2 days ago, finished it yesterday, and today I'm filming. So it's been a 4-day process. But yeah, I really like how it turned out. It's actually such a simple process now that I have the glue. It's way easier than actually sewing it. So if you guys want to try this out and you have some sweatpants laying around that you don't need to use, then this is the perfect DIY for you. I decided that I'm actually not going to do the green sweatpants in this video just because, like I said, it took me 4 days to make this and I really wanted this video to go up, so I am just doing the yellow set in this one. I have a couple of ideas on how I can make the top different for the next sweatpants, so I might make like a part 2 to this DIY sweatpants series. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Like always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.